Hi everyone and welcome back to Cloudcast episode 4. Today Alicia and I will be talking about what it means to be NHS assured and to find out if your current digital solution is fully compliant. So Alicia, could you give us a quick overview of Care Control's journey with being NHS assured?
Yes, of course I can. So let's go back 3 years. So I joined the company in 2022, I think it was. And at that stage, we had just become NHS assured, if my memory serves me correctly. And at the time, there were only about, I think, 5 suppliers that were on the list. And it was very, I think, confusing at the time because a lot of people were like, what does this mean? What does it mean to be NHS assured? And it was like that for a while. But we knew we had to be on this list. It was for something that was very important, and it was something that would give our existing customers, as well as new customers, this kind of trust that we were working towards becoming the best system we possibly could be by working with the NHS and the government on enhancing our system and just making it the best it possibly can be. About a year later, we had NHS funding come around for care providers to go digital, so access funding for a DSCR system through the catalogue solutions. That's what Care Control is classed as. It's a catalogue assured supplier, and all this funding was distributed to ICSs across the UK. And this at the time was called the Digital Transformation Fund, so it was about £25 million in this fund for care providers to go digital, because the NHS and the government knew that the care providers needed to move on to a digital system because it was just, technology was advancing so much, and it was better documentation of care, and giving the people that they serve within their care settings more personalised, person-centred care, and being able to spend more time with them by having the right tools to be able to document that, take away the hassle of paperwork, very time-consuming paperwork as well, the storage of that paperwork too, because you have to keep your records for 7 years after a service user has passed away. So really, digital is there to streamline that. But the NHS wanted to make sure that these systems were the best they possibly can be. So we worked with the NHS on developing our system and making sure that we were hitting all these standards and exceeding these standards. And one of the things I don't think many people speak about is how much, as a supplier, we have to invest into doing this. It costs a lot of money to be able to do it. It takes a lot of time to be able to do it, but we know how important it is. So we really have invested in this, especially over the last year. We're fully compliant now. We have got full assurance. We're only a handful of suppliers that actually are fully assured by the NHS, which I think we'll discuss more later, because there is a lot of grey area around people being assured and people not being assured. So we're now fully compliant. We have GP Connect, and we hit standards which you wouldn't think of when you're looking at a system. You wouldn't think, does this supplier have a business continuity and disaster recovery plan? Does this supplier have the infrastructure that they need to be able to support us in the right way? Is this supplier, are they compliant with PRSB? Are they able to offer About Me sections? Are they able to offer clinical safety? And it's all those standards that we have worked to and now have, where we know that our customers can be assured that we can support them in the best way possible, and the people that they serve and care for as well.
So for those who are watching, probably agree that was an amazing explanation. Thank you so much for that. But what does it actually mean to be NHS assured?
So being NHS assured means that your digital solution meets NHS standards of safety, security and effectiveness, making it reliable for care providers. However, the NHS assured status doesn't always guarantee full compliance. So you can go onto the Digitising Social Care's website and have a look at what suppliers are on the assured solutions list. But if you click into those suppliers, you can then see whether or not they are fully compliant with all the standards that are set out by the NHS, or if they are still unable to meet all of those standards. So it's a really simple thing to do. You can literally go on your mobile, hit the podcast being there. You can go on your mobile, and I've got Care Control's page up here. And you can see from our page that we are fully compliant with all of the standards set out by the NHS. But what you can also do as well is see what additional services they may offer, what new product releases they might have coming out, what different interoperabilities and implementation processes that they have. So it's a really handy site to go on.
So for those who are watching who aren't with a supplier that is NHS assured, what is your advice?
My advice would be is, let's just look at care first. So the care landscape is forever changing. It's very dynamic. There's always something new, and like there should be. We should be constantly innovating. We should be constantly trying to advance and support people the best we can. As a technology provider into the care industry, we also are very passionate about this too. We need to keep up with these ever-changing environments that the care industry are facing. We need to make sure that we're advancing in our technology and being able to innovate to support them as best we possibly can. I think for some suppliers, they may be really like helping care providers right now and giving them the support that they need. But if they're not innovating, if they're not investing in their software and enhancing it in the best way they possibly can, they're going to fall behind. And one of my biggest fears is that care providers will be with these suppliers who aren't assured, and they will fall behind. So what my advice would be is to go to the Digitising Social Care website, have a look at the assured suppliers that are on there. There's an array of them on there. Book in for some demonstrations with these people. Talk to them about the data migration process that's on there. We've actually done a podcast, I think it was last week, where we spoke about data migration and how we can support care providers with that. We also have some really great resources on our website. We did a recent case study with our newest client, Circle Case Management, who moved from an NHS assured supplier to Care Control, and they spoke about their transition from moving suppliers and why they moved suppliers, why that was so important for them. We'll link that above because that's a really great case study to read, to kind of not hear it from us, but to hear it from other care providers who are going through that experience, which I think is far more valuable. So that would be my advice really. Just head to that Digitising Social Care website, head to Care Control's website, talk to other care providers as well, understand what their situation is, what software they're using, and yeah, that would be my advice really.
Following on from what Alicia said, we encourage all care providers to check the NHS approved list, where you can find out if your digital solution is NHS assured but also fully compliant. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you later.